Welcome back to the shop. It's your boy Romanovich, the surgeon. Today we are jumping back on this build. We just keep upgrading this trailer because we want to make it optimal for rental and obviously for whenever we need to use it. So today we're actually going to be installing a pretty neat thing, which is a solar panel. So I've looked and did some research. One of my buddies actually promoted this to me here. This is actually one of them panels that actually will be able to manage this perfectly fine. He has like one, maybe a little bit bigger, that works on his RV that he has and has been doing awesome. He's got a toy hauler, that's what I meant. He's got a toy hauler and it's been doing really well. So this will help trickle charge the battery all the time on the way there to the breakdown where the vehicle is for the pickup. So I think this is gonna be perfect. We have some bolts and everything that we need to mount it, but we will be mounting it right here on the top side, and hopefully that will work perfect for us. So we have everything that we should need. Obviously we're gonna have to put the battery back in there, and I believe it goes all the way up to like 18 volts that it pulls to actually charge it. So it's actually gonna be way more than enough. Yeah, it says right here it's for 10 volts charging, but it hits up to 18. That way it's got a really good trickle charge. We got the clamps on that we're gonna need, but we're probably not gonna use these here. We're probably going to use this attachment here. That way it can go straight into the battery. We can bolt it down and that will be done. That's why I want to leave this battery connected at all times, because usually right now I do have it running straight to this all the time, or it's separated. And so when the person actually rents the trailer, they have to every time connect it, which is no big deal. It's pretty quick, but I want to make it where it's always trickle charging so they don't have to do that anymore, and that will be the better aspect. So let's go ahead and try to figure this out. I think we're gonna go ahead and figure out, oh look at that, it's already showing that it's pulling. That is so cool. If you guys can see the little flickers, it's showing that it's already pulling something. Look at that, we flip it over and got no lights. You flip it up and there you go, it's charging. And it's funny because there's like no sunlight out here. I'll show y'all. It's like a gloomy day. Let me raise it up for y'all. So yeah, it's already picking up. So that is awesome. I think this thing's gonna do great. Oh yeah, I'm super excited. Cool. So what we're gonna do is unwind this a little bit so we can take a marker and mark exactly where we need to mark this on the top side of this cover. We're gonna drill our holes and then we're gonna run everything down into the box. So I do want to have it right here in the middle. I have the wiring holes from this side where I have the winch running through. All right, so my cable's going here on this side of on the back of the box. So I think I'm gonna be running them in the exact same hole because I don't want to make any more holes in this. I want to make sure I also enclose these really well. That way there's no way water can get in there, and it's actually doing so well. So I think those be fine. The only thing that I'm seeing here is I'm gonna have to have an offset for this guy whenever it's actually laying on top of here, which I got enough, hopefully enough bolt to do that, which I have extras, no problem. But I was thinking, gosh, here we go. I was gonna use one of these, and yeah, let's see what we can make happen. But yeah, it looks like we're gonna have to lift it up just a hair. That way it's level, something like that. So I'm gonna put like a little piece in there, but most likely we're gonna be using these little nuts from both sides that'll keep a good offset. So I don't think we should have a problem. Let me go run in, get a marker, flip this over, and we're gonna mark exact spots where we actually need to drill. I'm trying to do a better view from the top because I've never done it like that. So we're gonna try to something else. I'm gonna move it forward up a little bit. That way we actually have pretty good clearance here whenever they open the box. So there is no interference with that. And there shouldn't be. We're gonna do our best to mark this spot on the exact center. There we go. Perfect. I'm obviously gonna put some silicone there as well. That way we're gonna block off the hole completely. But now we have our 4 dots for our hole. Let's try to actually drill these out real quick. I got these really cobalt, nice Milwaukee bits. Got our little starter punch. There we go. Apologize if that's loud. I'm trying to use a different mic for my recording, so hopefully you actually hear me a little better than I'm like in the wind or something, you know what I mean? So let's go ahead and start with a small little bit like this guy. For drilling, remember, keep it on one, your drill, and you want to go slow. You don't want to warm up the bits, which this material is pretty weak. Just like that. Shouldn't have anything to really work with. Pretty simple. Just like that. 2 more. Beautiful. And 1 more. Just like that. So now we're going to actually step it up to the exact bolt that we need it, which is got right here. I forget what it is, but I think, let's see. I kind of measure like this, so it looks like this would be a little bit big. I want to keep it where it's a little bit snug. It's not going to walk too much, so that way it'll give me less work to do. And this looks like it's going to be pretty close, so we're going to try that. If need be, we'll step up or waller it out, as they say. Just a hair. If you guys want a video of how I mounted this whole winch, I have a video that I will do my best to leave in the description. It'll show you a full video how I built the receiver for that. So it's mounted on here, and you can remove this and actually mount it on any vehicle and pull any vehicle out that's in distress. Well, I was going to drill 1 and then check, but we've done 2 and it's perfect. We do not need to go any bigger. From both sides, that way there is no issue with the water getting inside, so that'll be a big deal for me. That way our straps and everything is drying here. Right now it's just a controller. I took the straps out, that way we're working with nothing else in there. So the way I am planning actually on doing this, I'm thinking of putting the actual Allen bolt down inside. But now that I've been thinking about it, less people have a tendency to steal it whenever they don't have the correct tool. So, you know, it's gonna keep an honest thief honest, but a real thief who really wants it, they will definitely get it. So what I'm thinking, we're gonna put the Allen on the top, and then we're gonna work with, look at that, this is like perfect. Oh my gosh, that's almost like a thread in. That's unreal. Okay, just gotta make sure we don't mess up the threads. So give me a moment to think about, because I'm thinking we might do it from the top, just like that. It will accumulate water on here. If I flip it, it might do a little better, but then of course you got the nut exposed on top. What I have decided to do is put the Allen on the bottom side like I initially thought I would do. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna need a 13mm wrench. We're gonna need a perfect number 6 Allen. And so the way I've designed it is we're gonna put a lock washer on the bottom side. Bottom side, then we're gonna put a spacer. We're gonna put another spacer. Okay, just like that. Now, I'm gonna take this off. We're gonna lift this up. And we're gonna have a little thing going on back and forth. So, bolt, lock washer, and a spacer. They're gonna go through here, just like that. Perfect. Now what we're gonna do is put another washer on there and put a nut on there. We're gonna cinch them down. This is initially gonna hold it where hopefully nobody's gonna steal it. Like I said, honest thief, it'll keep an honest thief honest, and a real thief, well, they're gonna get what they want. No doubt about that. That is cinched down very nicely, nice and tight. So this should have a perfect holding feature for it. And now what we're gonna do, I'm gonna show you an example on this and I'm gonna do the rest. So well, you're not watching the same thing. Now that we have this stud in here, what we're gonna do is actually use a nut. It's gonna be like that. We're gonna use a washer. And then whenever we actually put this guy on, we're gonna use another washer on the top side, and then put the nut on there. And that way this will actually hold that offset that we need, and we won't have any issue with that. So let me go ahead and do the rest, and we'll be right back once we are ready to install everything else. like I said, everything's done the same way that I wanted it to. Now, final thing that we have to do is put this on here and mount it. So that's actually really good clearance. So I'm gonna go ahead and lower it down till this is actually touching the bottom. And it looks like that nut has to be all the way on the floor. Yeah, that's perfect. It's gonna have literally a small little surface on the bottom side. So we're gonna do all of them to the floor. It's gonna be perfect because we're still gonna be, when we're gonna be cinching them down, it's gonna be going up a little bit. All right, I don't know what happened here, but somehow this hole was not aligned. I don't know what happened, guys. This is terrible. What has happened here? I don't understand. It's nowhere near where it's supposed to be for some reason. Okay, here we go. There. It gives a little flex to it, but I think it's gonna be fine. Just fine. All right, good deal. Let's go ahead and cinch them down. Hopefully they're done. The biggest thing is I've heard from a lot of my neighbors that there has been a lot of stealing going on here in our neighborhood. Just a random car, Toyota Camry to be exact, driving by slowly picking up Amazon packages. So I kind of wouldn't be surprised if one of them decided to, you know, pay us a visit because they see all this. So we're gonna hope for the best, you know. We're gonna offer this. So I was looking for Loctite, I didn't have any, but I'm gonna bring some tomorrow and really cinch it down. So I'm gonna go ahead and go on top. Work with it. Let's not overkill it because, you know, it is plastic. We don't want to destroy anything. Alright, so it is on there. Very much solid. What I would like to test is how much voltage is actually drawing whenever it's like this. And so I'm going to pull this out, quickly get my meter, and see what we can have on the reading. And I don't know if you guys see that, but it's reading 12 volts DC right there with barely any sun. I know we need a little bit more just for it to actually be able to charge the battery because it has to be more than 12. But I believe we're obviously going to achieve that like that. If I cover it up just half of it with my hand, I get 6. So right there is 12. Now what we got to do is go ahead and unhook this here because we are not going to be using that right there. We're going to be using our regular clamps just like that. They go onto the battery. We got a specific battery for this because these have the circular connections like that. So we're going to go ahead and slide this into the little pocket here. We have not thrown out this little piece, which is going to take it. We're going to wrap everything inside. Let's go and feed everything through first. Just like that. Now we're going to take all our access here in a second once we put the battery in here. And we're going to put the battery in here and let it charge it and see what happens. Okay, hopefully you can see that, but here is the battery. It is reading at 12 volts right now because I trickle charge it pretty much for every night. So I take it out of here, and we've been having some cold nights. When it drops to 20, it really likes to drain the battery. So I think this will be the perfect solution so we don't have to keep taking it off. And look at that, it's the perfect exact measurement for us. So what we're gonna do is, I think we're gonna leave that strap like that. We're gonna go ahead and split them both just like that. Neutral to neutral, positive to positive, and then we can throw these on. I don't know how much draw it has right now from there, so I don't know if I want to keep it on there or we're just going to trickle charge the battery alone for now. Let's just do that. We're going to go ahead and strip these back on here, or zip them back on here. There we go. Perfect. And I always do a hand tie. Even whenever I put these on, you don't even have to tighten them down because there's plenty of really good continuity for that. We're gonna throw this on here, and we're actually gonna try to reread what we got going on. The thing is, I don't know how much I'll get since the solar panel is this way, but we'll try to do something like this, and maybe it'll capture more of the sun. I'm gonna come to your guys' side. We're gonna try to Check it one more time. So we're gonna put it on DC. I ordered this thing off of Amazon. They're actually really expensive, but they're actually really worth it because they're very universal and very powerful. So we're gonna get the negative to negative, or positive to positive, negative to negative. Yeah, so we got no reading right now because it is low. Let's put this over here. See if I can do this with 2 hands. Okay. Let's see what we get. I don't think oh, sorry. Got to put it on DC. My bad. All right, so we got 12. Obviously, it's reading the battery. Once we lift it up like this, if we get anything. All right. Obviously, there's no sun, so it's really not going to do much right now. So let's not have our hopes up or anything like that. But yeah, it really needs to be just 12. That's plenty for a vehicle to start and everything like that. So once we get some sunlight, I will come back and I will do a double check, and I'll keep you guys posted. Good deal. So with that pretty much complete, we're gonna go ahead and finish it 100%. We're gonna take a little wire tie. We're gonna go ahead and sandwich everything together over here. That way we don't have a bunch of wires that are just, you know, hanging loose. I always like to keep things pretty clean. This is the messiest I've had it so far. People usually bring back the trailers actually, and they are not wired, or the straps are not back together, you know, the way you're supposed to be. They're not wrapped. I don't have a problem with that because I actually like to do that. It actually, you know, gives me purpose and tells me, hey, you had a rental, you're doing good, keep it up, and the very minimum. So I have no problem doing that. But yeah, I actually think I'm gonna wrap it this way. That way it's a little bit more out of the way. Do it like this. Let's see what happens. Like I said, we're gonna have a pretty good cold night tonight, so we're gonna see what happens overnight. So there's gonna be a perfect test for it as well. There you go. Well, that is going to be a wrap up for this video. I really appreciate you guys watching, and I see that a lot of people that are actually watching are not subscribed. So I'd really appreciate you guys growing my family on the YouTube, and hit that subscribe button. Leave us a like if you guys like this kind of content, and let us know in the comments what else or how better you would actually mount this. That way it's going to be more steel proof, maybe seal it properly or enclose it, something like that. But just let me know what you guys actually want to see more on these trailers, because we're gonna have some other things that are coming your way. So stay tuned. So hit your alert button. So we will catch y'all on the next one. Peace.